Have you ever noticed that no matter how much money comes in, it somehow always finds a way to disappear before the month is over? More comes in, more goes out. The cycle doesn't break. And if you've ever sat there wondering what you're actually doing wrong, this video is for you. We are living through one of the most financially disorienting periods in modern history. 2026 is not your parents' economy. The cost of living has climbed to a place that feels almost personal, like it's targeting you specifically. Eggs, rent, gas, childcare, everything costs more, and the raises, if they came at all, didn't come close to keeping up. Then there's the AI wave hitting the job market. Roles that felt untouchable 2 years ago are being automated, restructured, or just quietly eliminated. And instead of clarity, most people are getting anxiety. A low-grade financial dread that hums in the background of daily life. So what do? We hustle. We try side gigs. We download the budget apps, watch the finance videos, try the spending freezes. And it helps a little, for a while. But somehow the stress comes back. Because none of those things touch the actual root of the problem. The root is not your income. It's not even your spending habits. It's the invisible framework inside your head that decides, before any conscious thought, what money means, what it's for, and whether you deserve to keep it. Today we're going after that root, and I promise you, once this lands, the way you see money will never be quite the same. Let's start with the mindset shift itself. And I'll say it plainly. Most people treat money like it's the destination. The shift is learning to treat it like weather, something you prepare for, work with, and navigate. Not something you chase or hide from. I know that might sound philosophical, but stay with me, because the practical difference between those two ways of thinking is absolutely enormous. And it shows up in real, daily decisions in ways you probably haven't noticed yet. When money is the destination, you're always measuring how far away you are from it. Every purchase feels like a setback. Every unexpected expense feels like failure. You're emotionally reactive, scared when there's not enough, slightly reckless when there is. The goal keeps moving. You work harder and the finish line somehow stays the same distance away. But when money becomes something you navigate, like weather, everything changes. You stop being surprised by storms. You build shelter before it rains. You don't panic when a cold front rolls in. You've got systems, you've got layers, and you're not waiting for perfect conditions to start making good decisions. I want to tell you about two people. Let's call them Devin and Simone, both 34, both making around $72,000 a year, both living in mid-sized cities with similar costs of living. On paper, identical starting points. Devin is talented, driven, and absolutely exhausted by money. Every time he gets paid, there's a mental scramble. Who needs to get paid first? What's overdue? What can wait? He tells himself he'll start saving when things settle down. They never do, because there's always something. A car repair, a medical bill, a friend's wedding trip. Devin isn't irresponsible. He's reactive. He's navigating without a map. And so every obstacle feels like a crisis. Simone earns the same amount, but she set up something small 3 years ago that changed everything. Before any bill gets paid, before any subscription renews, before she even sees the money, a fixed transfer moves automatically into a separate account she mentally labels not mine yet. It started at $80 a paycheck. Now it's $310. She didn't find extra money. She just stopped waiting for the leftover to save itself. Devin is chasing the destination. Simone is navigating the weather. Same storm. Completely different shelter. Here's the part that most finance content skips entirely, and it might be the most important thing in this video. The way you currently think about money was not chosen by you. It was absorbed. It came from dinner table tension when the bills arrived. It came from the phrases you heard repeated like mantras growing up. Money is the root of all stress. We're not that kind of family. Don't talk about money. It's rude. Those weren't lessons. They were programs. And most of us are still running them on autopilot, decades later, without ever questioning whether they're actually true. Behavioral research backs this up in a striking way. The financial decisions adults make today are more accurately predicted by the emotional money environment of their childhood than by their current income or financial knowledge. So ask yourself honestly, finish this sentence in your head. Money is whatever came up first. That's your operating system. That's what's quietly running your bank account. And if that sentence ends in something like hard to hold on to, or always a source of stress, or for other people, that belief will sabotage every tactic, every app, every budget you ever tried to stick to. You cannot outstrategy a belief that's working against you. And this gets even harder in 2026 because the external environment is doing everything it can to reinforce the wrong beliefs. Social media has turned other people's financial highlight reels into a daily performance review you never signed up for. Someone your age just posted about their 7-figure exit. Another person is on their 3rd vacation this year. A 26-year-old you vaguely know from college is apparently making passive income while traveling. And even when you know rationally that you're only seeing the curated surface, emotionally, something tightens. You start to feel behind. And feeling behind leads to one of two things: reckless acceleration, trying to catch up by taking on risks you're not ready for, or full shutdown. Why bother if I'll never get there anyway? Both are emotional responses to a comparison that was never real in the first place. Then layer on top of that the AI disruption. A lot of people right now are feeling, quietly or loudly, that the ground beneath their career is shifting. And financial uncertainty is the exact condition under which human beings make the worst money decisions. We get short-sighted. We grab for anything that feels like safety. We avoid planning because planning for a future that feels uncertain feels pointless. But here's the reframe. And this one is worth writing down. Uncertainty is not a reason to stop building. It's the exact reason why having a system matters more than ever. The people who weather economic disruption are not the ones who predicted every change. They're the ones who built financial habits so deeply automated that change couldn't knock them completely off course. So what does navigating the weather actually look like in practice? 3 things. Simple, concrete, starting today. The first, name your money programs. Take 10 minutes this week, seriously, just 10, and write down every phrase about money you remember hearing growing up. Not to judge them, just to see them, because you cannot question a belief you've never made visible. Once it's written down, you can ask, is this actually true? Does this belief serve me? Or am I just carrying it out of habit? The second, automate one decision, just one. Pick the smallest amount you can commit to, even if it's $25 per paycheck, and set it to move automatically to a separate account the day you get paid. Don't think about it after that. The magic is not in the amount. It's in removing the decision entirely. Decisions require willpower. Automation requires nothing. And savings that happen before you can spend them don't feel like sacrifice. They just become invisible infrastructure. The third, change the question you ask when money arrives. Most people ask, what do I need to pay? The navigator asks, where does this money serve me best? It sounds subtle, but the first question is defensive. The second question is strategic. One protects what you have, the other builds what's next. And that difference, repeated over hundreds of small decisions across months and years, is what actually separates people who feel like money controls them from people who feel like they control their money. By the way, if this kind of conversation is what you've been looking for, you're in the right place. Wallet Mastery exists for exactly this reason. Not to throw generic budgeting advice at you, not to hype up get-rich schemes, but to actually explore the thinking behind money, the psychology, the habits, the systems, and translate it into things you can use in real life wherever you are financially right now. If that sounds like something worth having in your feed, subscribe. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and every video is built around giving you something you can actually use, not just think about. And if this video landed for you, even one idea that made you pause, hit the like button. It genuinely helps more people find this content. We're building something real here, and every like is part of that. More importantly, I want to hear from you. Because here's the thing, you watched this entire video for a reason. Something in your financial life is calling for a change right now. So tell me in the comments, what is one money belief you picked up somewhere along the way that you're starting to think might actually be holding you back? I read them, I take notes, and your answers shape what comes next on this channel. Let me leave you with this. The economy will keep doing what economies do, fluctuating, surprising, occasionally terrifying. AI will keep reshaping the landscape. The cost of living will not stop demanding more from you. None of that is going away. But the person who builds a system, even an imperfect, modest, slightly too small to feel significant system, will outperform the person who waits for perfect conditions every single time. Not because they're smarter, not because life went easier on them, but because they stopped seeing money as a destination they were always failing to reach and started seeing it as a force they were learning to work with. The weather is not your enemy. It never was. You just never had the right gear. Now you have a starting point. What you do with it is yours. So before you close this tab, I want to know, what is the single money belief you inherited that you are ready to leave behind? Drop it below. Because writing it down might be the first real step toward actually replacing it. See you in the next one.